Chris Norris, and today we'll be covering the story of the French Revolution.
Here's a clip that we captured of a third-class citizen who's demanding his rights for equality.
I'm the third class and I want equality.
No. It all began in the Estates General in 1789, a meeting to gain assent for new tax laws. The Estates General was composed of 3 estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the rest of France, which is considered the third and or last class.
After these taxes were put in place, the third class was furious because the clergy and the nobles never paid.
France declared bankruptcy. The poor was starving. Here's an interview with one of the nobles about the current living situation.
Hey, Peyton, how's the fellow noble class doing?
I just have too much money and too much food, and the only thing I'm worried about is getting my shoes dirty.
We recently got an update that the third-class citizens are furious with King Louis XVI. The main question here is, should God save King Louis? They have now found a room for them to hold an assembly.
Show them the clip.
I hereby take this tennis court oath to not leave the tennis court until the French Revolution has been established.
Louis XVI was voted guilty for treason by 1 vote, as shown in this clip.
We call this meeting to order. How do you plan to defend it?
Guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
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 By a vote of 3-2, we find the defendant guilty. Off with his head.
They wanted to make sure no royalty was left, so they beheaded Marie Antoinette, also shown in this clip. Enraged at all the people, sent his troops to use his new guillotine to behead the 16,000 people. Here is the brutal video of the scene. Viewers' discretion is advised.
No, monsieur.
Show me what you want.
Wow, that was harsh. Supporters of the Enlightenment applauded the reforms of the National Assembly.
Events in France stirred debate all over Europe. Recently, we've gotten news that European rulers increased border patrols to stop the spread of the French plague.
French Revolution, the emergence of the modern state. So, how did this all begin? For hundreds of years prior to the Revolution, French people, like most Europeans, were divided into 3 social estates: clergy, nobility, and the lowest estate, the commoners, which existed to serve the other estates. Above all was God's gift to mankind, the king. But this hierarchy was being questioned by the Enlightenment, a movement of intellectuals who promoted the use of reason and science. Revolutionary ideas began to spread to the public. So, in the 1780s, when an economically broke and spoiled monarchy tried to increase taxes on the commoners, resentment reached a new level and riots began. On the 14th of July, 1789, revolutionists stormed the Bastille Fortress, a symbol of the royal power. This date is marked as the beginning of the end of the old monarchy, which has become France's Independence Day, even though the king was beheaded only in 1793. Shortly after, the French adopted a universal declaration which stated, "Men are born and remain free and equal in rights." This was a radical change, even though it left many people out. But the French Revolution was far from a smooth ride. Actually, it was a bloodbath, which led to external and internal wars. The newly introduced guillotine worked overtime, beheading tens of thousands of French during a period known as the Terror. In 1799, the revolution ended when a military commander by the name of Napoleon Bonaparte seized control of the French legislature, eventually declaring himself emperor. Although the revolution began and ended with a monarchy, it had a crucial impact on Europe and world history, and laid the foundation for a modern state governed by the people. Things you gotta know. Let them eat cake. Queen Marie Antoinette's supposed response upon learning that the poor peasants had no bread. The American Revolution was considered a major source of inspiration to the revolutionists in France. The French tricolor was formed during the Revolution. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity associated with it were superimposed many years later.
Well, that was a nice segment on the French Revolution.
Join us next time on PGHL News.
We call this meeting to order. How do you find the defendant?
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Anjoliet?
Okay, no, stop.